All right, ladies and gentlemen, guys, we'd like to welcome you to the show. This is your host of the afternoon, DJ Just Jay with Just Dime TNT, here to bring you guys another story. Today is February the 5th of 2019. I'm going to talk to you guys about a story. It's going to be a little bit difficult to digest because of the way that we put out content. As you guys know, we advocate for children first. We're going to speak very harshly about parenting, what you should and should not do. So if you guys are not ready for me to be harsh and criticize the black community, this might not be the channel for you. Hit that red X in the top right corner. Please don't flaggy my videos, right? There is no need to flag my video if you don't like my content, if you don't like my beard, if you don't like the shirt that I chose, or if you don't like this beautiful cup that my daughter got me, then just leave my channel. For everybody else that wants to hear this story, we're going to talk about that young lady right there. That is Tiara Dillon, age 26. In my opinion, there's no excuse for what she did. She's old enough to know better and definitely just did not give a crap about her children. Here's the story. A 26-year-old Lawrence, Kansas woman was accused of leaving her two toddlers, those beautiful little babies right there on my screen, in a car while she was in a bar. I want you guys to keep in mind, in Kansas, on this day, it was freezing cold outside. And what she decided to do was she decided that her needs and her wants were way more important than her children. So she took her children to a place where her children cannot enter, which is Players Bar, which is in Lawrence, Kansas. And she pleaded with a judge not to take her children away from her while acknowledging that she made a mistake. We're going to take our pen. We're going to bookmark that part of the story. We'll come back to it because we're going to revisit that. Again, Tiara Dillon, age 26, was charged Thursday with two felony counts of aggravated child endangerment and a misdemeanor count of operating a vehicle under the influence, which is very important. Now, Judge James George, that's a tongue twister, Judge James George, ordered Dillon to have no contact with her children, who are ages 2 and 3. Now, before George issued the no contact order, Dillon repeatedly asked and begged him not to take her children and that she never meant to hurt her children. We're going to talk about that also. She, quote, "I love my babies," she said through tears. "Please don't take my babies." Right? Now, before the judge issued the no contact order, she begged him. And Judge Judge James T. George. You guys try to say that on the replay. Judge James T. George appointed her a lawyer. So apparently she didn't have money to get her own lawyer. Now, Richard Lundstrom, to represent Dillon, set her bond at $10,000 and ordered her not to make contact with her children. George also ordered Dillon to not consume any alcohol or drugs, to not visit any establishments that serve alcohol, and to wear a GPS tracking device should she bond out of jail, which is not even a guarantee because you got to come up with $10,000, or otherwise, if you go through a bail bondsman, we're talking about $1,000. All right. Now, she don't seem like the type of person that got a whole lot of money based on the research that I've done. So don't get mad that I said that she's broke. We're going to talk about this, guys. Okay. I promise you. I don't just make blanket statements about people without proof. Her next court date is scheduled for 2 p.m. on February 19th. So that's coming up. Now, she was arrested early Wednesday after allegedly leaving her two children unattended in a vehicle at this place called Players, Plyerz Sports Bar, that's in Lawrence, Kansas, on a dangerously cold night. Now, authorities say a mother has been arrested after going into the bar and leaving her toddlers in a vehicle parked outside that night. Now, police responded around 1:30. Now, this is going to be the kicker. For everybody that's watching the show, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up if you have not already hit the thumbs up. We only get a couple people that donate to the show. So for everybody else, all you got to do is donate one of those. Hit that thumbs up for your boy, please. Take a pause for the cause. Hit the thumbs up. It shares the show and lets other people know that we're live. Can y'all do that for me? People in the chat, can y'all do that for me? Let me say thank you, first-time donator, to my guy Carlos M. in the chat. I want to say thank you, Carlos. And he sent a donation through. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Now, the police responded to the bar at about 1:30 a.m. Wednesday to report that a customer was trying to get back in the bar after she was kicked out. Let's say that again. Police responded, and the only way that she was caught was because they asked her to leave. Well, these people own this establishment and they don't want to get in any trouble. So when they know that you're being belligerent, they don't want to piss off the rest of their customers. When you're coming into this establishment, they ask you to leave. And she said, you know what? You're not going to force me to leave your establishment that you pay bills for, that you open to the public, and that you have to be responsible for if some stuff goes wrong. She's like, no, you're going to let me back in here. So they called the police after she was kicked out. Now, staff told the police that the woman had been in the bar while her 2- and 3-year-old children stayed unattended in the vehicle as temperatures were in the single digits amid a polar vortex. Temperatures were in single digits. I'm going to tell you guys, I personally get freezing cold when it's like under 40. So think about that. Grown men like me, hands is freezing, get frostbite at less than 40 degrees, and the temperature in Kansas this day was in single digits, okay? Now, Officer Derrick said that the woman left before the police arrived. So they told her that they was going to call the police. They did, and what she do? She took her kids in the car. Keep in mind, she had been in the bar about 4 hours. She was probably drunk and being belligerent, and jumped in a car. So, for my smart people that are out there, what's wrong with that story? Do you think it's probably a safe thing to have consumed a ton of alcohol and drive a vehicle, let alone be in a bar while your kids are in a freezing car and freezing temperatures outside was already wrong on itself? Then on top of that, you turn around and run from the police while you are drunk, while these babies are in your car. Just, it's a bit much, guys. It's a bit much. Now, Officer Derrick said that she tried to leave, but officers stopped her because they caught her at an intersection. He says that the children weren't hurt, although they were left without heat for a substantial amount of time. We're going to get to that. Now, the woman has been booked in jail on suspicion of child endangerment and drunken driving. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office has declined to release the booking photo of Dillon. Like she did a criminal act. Like, I don't know why they would try to protect her image, but it's okay because I'm going to put her fucking face out there, right? Now, police say the kids weren't injured, but Child Protective Services are now investigating. Good for them. Being in a car is not predictable, and they can be exposed to temperatures that can cause medical issues, which is what Dr. Travis Langer said, out of University of Kansas Health System Pediatric Critical Care Division manager. Now, doctors at the University of Kansas system say that extreme temperatures like we're seeing now are extremely dangerous for small children. As I've told you, my body doesn't deal with cold well at all. Now, their tiny bodies can't adjust to deep freeze easily, and it only takes a drop of a couple of degrees in body temperature for mild hypothermia to kick in, right? Now, definitely within minutes, you can have a drop in what we call core temperature of the body. Once it gets below 95 degrees, we start becoming very concerned and want those patients to present to the hospital or to come to the hospital. Let's just say that. Because part of the treatment is to rewarm them in a specific way that cannot be done at home. Now, it's safe to say that since the two children live in Lawrence, couldn't have been in the car, it's safe to say that since the two children in Lawrence could have been in the car up to 4 hours, it's incredible that they're okay. Now, before I show you guys the video, I have a few personal points that I'm getting ready to make to you guys, so I hope you guys are ready for this. All right? Has everybody hit the thumbs up? If you haven't, scroll down at the bottom, just hit the thumbs up. Let me say hi to everybody out there in the chat. I see all you guys typing in there. So I want to say hi to all of you, but I can't individually say hi to everybody. So I want to just say hi unmasked to everybody, right? Now, here's my question before we play the video. Why she was at the bar was for all the wrong reasons. What do you guys think was her reason for being at the bar? Just minus the children. Keep in mind, she has no children, 2 children, and no father in these children's lives. Hashtag, where are the fathers? You see 2 children, you see no fathers, and trust me, we've done days and days of research on this story before I even brought it out. So I'm telling you, we have not smelled a sense of a father around these 2 children at all, right? Now, in my opinion, she could have been going to the bar looking for another no good man. As you guys know, that a lot of these single mothers always end up saying, well, it's something to do with the baby daddy. It's the baby daddy's fault. He's just a piece of crap. He didn't want to be in the kid's life and this and that and such and such. So what that means is that she was going to the bar to potentially look for another no good man and potentially was going to get pregnant by another no good man. And he isn't going to be there for the children because he's a no good man, because she isn't looking for marriage, which means she has no intention of making the man at least prove in some shape, form, or fashion that he's going to be in these children's lives. Do I need to say that again? No, I don't. I think you guys got it. You guys are smart. I love you guys. I know you guys are smart. Let's keep going. Now, let's talk about the fact that she called this a mistake. She called this a mistake. Let's talk about this for a moment. How is this a mistake to know where you want to go? She wanted to go to Players Sports Bar, so she made a plan to go there. Why do you want to go? You would have had to already made up in your mind why you want to go. She wants to get drunk and potentially be around some dudes that's going to holler at her, right? Even though she's not very attractive, but I get it. You're going to put yourself in a position to win, right? You have to go shower. You have to get dressed. Then you have to get the children dressed. Then you have to start the car, maybe warm it up. Then you have to drive the car. Then you have to enter the bar. Then you have to order drinks. And she just literally just said, screw a babysitter. She just said, whether she was able to pay for a babysitter, whether she didn't want to contact nobody, whatever the case is, she just said, screw the babysitter. It's me time, and me time is much more important than these 2 faces right here. As I've told you guys, they do a big disservice to our children because she put our children's life in danger for her own selfish needs, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Y'all got to tell me in the chat. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I can't read your mind. Be honest with me and tell me what you guys think. Okay? Now, she was going to drink and drive with kids in the car while ice was outside. Snow and ice. Think about that. Going to drink and drive with kids in the car. So think about this. If we treat people that get DUIs and DWIs so badly that you have organizations like MAD, which is MAD, which is Mothers Against Drunk Driving. If you guys have not heard of that, please look it up. Then why shouldn't we treat this the same way? Because I'm going to tell you guys, based on the research that we were doing, we actually found women that were actually defending this. Can I say bitch? Can I say that? I don't know if that's appropriate to call this bitch a bitch of a mother. I don't know if that's appropriate, right? If you have organizations like Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, then why would we take this mother that was drunk to the point to where she got kicked out the bar for being belligerent and then hopped in the car and drove with her kids in the car, and just luckily enough, there wasn't an accident because she ran from the police. There could even be an evading charge, which makes it even more egregious, right? I think that she should be treated the exact same way. If we're going to scrutinize and criticize people that drink and drive drunk and kill people and hit people and all that kind of stuff, then I think that this woman should be treated the same way. The car I'm going to tell you guys this because it didn't say this in the story, but I know the story. You want to know why she ended up, how this whole thing ended up happening? She went to the car when she was forced to leave and tried to start the car. The car had died. What's up, relationship rehab? Think about this, bro. The car died. The thing we do not know is how long that car was off while those kids were in the car, because she left the car running to make sure that the kids had warm air, probably had the hot air on in the car. So if the car shut off, then that means that them kids had no way to keep themselves warm in the freezing car. She tried to leave and the car wouldn't start. So there is absolutely no telling how long that car had been off, which could have definitely killed her children. She tried to flee and the car would not start. She had to go and get help to get the car started. Once she got the car started, then she left before the police got there. And she ended up getting pulled over. So I thought I'd tell you guys that. Now, in my opinion, she said, please don't take my baby. Please don't take my baby. I had no intention to hurt my babies. I didn't want to hurt my babies. I didn't mean to hurt my babies. I'm going to tell you something. Yes, she did. Tiara Dillon had every incentive, had every reason to put her children in harm's way, because the only reason she has these children is for the benefits that she gets from them. She didn't care about her children. Why does Just Jay say that? Well, let's talk about it. She had every intention of putting her children in harm's way just so she could go have a good time. So no, she doesn't deserve to have her children back at all. In my opinion, she needs to prove that she's capable of making proper choices. Do you guys agree with that? In my opinion, based on the choices that she's made for her children, putting them in harm's way in the midst of death, she needs to prove to her family, to her children, to CPS, to the state of Kansas, to Lawrence in particular, and to the rest of the world, that not only is she qualified to be a parent, but that she has the proper training to be a parent, making the proper choices, that her mind is in the right place. In my opinion, I think she potentially needs to take an Alcoholics Anonymous class. What do you guys think? I think she also needs to be forced to take a parenting class. Is that a bit harsh? Am I being mean? Are you going to flaggy my channel because of what I just said? I don't know. So in my opinion, if the public really wants to help, then they need to tell the family to step up to the goddamn plate and babysit these kids or something. I don't know if she reached out. I'm assuming that she probably didn't. She said, I love my baby. She said that through tears. Please don't take my babies. In my opinion, that's exactly what she should have told herself. Don't take my babies to the bar. Don't take my babies in the freezing cold. Don't take my babies and leave them in a car unattended, hoping that the car stays running. Uh-oh. You guys get where I'm coming from? I'm going to read you guys. I thought this was very poignant. It's very telling. I'm going to read you guys something that we found on Facebook, because we found a ton of stuff on Facebook. But I saw one person in particular. Her name is Mary Ann. I'm not going to give her last name because I don't want to call her completely out if y'all find her Facebook page. This is what she said defending this woman. She said, stop with the insults. You don't know her and you don't know the whole effing story either. She's not a bad mom. Them two girls was always dressed, clean, hair done. She made a very bad mistake. She needs help, not people talking shit on her. This is a woman that was in the comment section. I picked out this one comment in particular out of all of them from this lady named Mary Ann. So, Mary Ann is more concerned about this mother's feelings being hurt than this mother murdering her children. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. So go ahead and give the fair usage. While you guys are watching, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Right now, a Lawrence mother is behind bars after her kids were found alone in a car last night in the cold.
Yeah, the overnight temperatures in Lawrence got as low as -3 degrees. Caroline Sweeney explains what led to the discovery and what that mother is now facing.
It's cold outside right now. It's about 7 degrees, and it was cold overnight. A woman allegedly left her 2 toddlers in a car in this parking lot while police say she was inside this bar.
I really don't believe that she would leave her kids in the car, for any amount of time. She's a good mom.
People at this apartment.
Did you guys hear that? We're going to rewind that. I don't mean to keep stopping it. I want y'all to hear this again. This is the sickness that I'm talking about. And I'm going to say this to my ladies because a lot of our audience here is ladies. It used to be about 50-50. We're getting a lot of ladies that are coming through the channel. I want my ladies to start holding ladies accountable. I don't think it's the man's job to hold women responsible. I think it's the women's job to hold other women responsible. Sisters, step up to the plate. Listen to what she said defending this woman who should not have been defended. Listen again.
And it was cold overnight. A woman allegedly left her 2 toddlers in a car in this parking lot while police say she was inside this bar.
I really don't believe that she would leave her kids in the car, for any amount of time. She's a good mom.
She doesn't believe that she would leave her children in the car. They have proof of it. Indisputable proof that they're going to prove in court, which is why she doesn't have her children and could potentially lose her children for good. She said she's a good mom. Let's just look at it like this for a moment. How many good moms? Hashtag mom of the year. Can somebody hashtag mom of the year? How many moms do we have that go and leave and drive in freezing temperatures to go to a bar? You get sloppy drunk and then you are kicked out of the bar because you are being belligerent. Now tell me, what about that says mom of the year? Hashtag mom of the year. Can we get that in the chat? Mom of the year. Why are we defending that? I don't understand that. Let's keep going.
People at this apartment complex in East Lawrence were shocked when they heard about their neighbor. We're not sharing her name because she hasn't been charged.
I can't imagine her doing anything that would harm her children.
At 1:30 this morning.
You can't imagine it, but they just told you what she did. Why? I can't believe that. Why can't you?
Police were called to Players Bar and Grill after employees say the woman was trespassing. They also told police her 2- and 3-year-old kids were in the car.
Maybe she just didn't realize she was, going to be gone from her car so long or something like that. Cause
what? I'm going to rewind that again. Golly, she got more excuses than a little bit. Listen to this again.
Going to be gone from her car so long or something like that. Maybe she just didn't realize she was, going to be gone from her car so long or something like that. Because really, she's...
Look at the reporter's face. I want you guys to look at her face. She's like, you're going to keep defending the bitch? You're going to keep defending her, really? We just told you what happened. You're still going to defend her? Look at the reporter's face. Look at this again.
We're in the car.
Maybe she just didn't realize she was, going to be gone from her car so long or something like that. Because really, she's a good kid.
Wow. She's a good kid. Now, she's the parent of not 1, but 2. Count them. 2 children. And this grown woman is referring to her as a kid to elicit sympathy? Why? Why would we be doing this? Why are we defending the indefensible? Ladies, can somebody explain that to me? That's not even delusion. That's just irresponsibility. That's irresponsible.
A car.
Maybe she just didn't realize she was, going to be gone from her car so long, or something like that. Because really, she's a good kid.
She's a good kid. Wow. Maybe she didn't. Well, you know what? I hate when people say maybe. We need to get rid of the word maybe. We need to get rid of the word feeling and maybe. We need to start eliminating that word out of our vocabulary a lot more often. You guys catch that? Eliminate the words maybe, feelings. Eliminate the words maybe and feelings. Well, I feel like, well, maybe. How about we start getting to the facts? I'm not saying maybe she left her children in the car. I'm telling you she did. I'm not telling you that she was dick chasing. I feel like she was. I'm telling you what she was doing. I'm not guessing that she was drunk. I'm telling you that she was Jara-unk. Jara-unk, which means she was far past the level of intoxicated. You guys catch that?
Police arrested her just before 2 a.m. right down the street at 19th and Haskell. She's still in custody. Neighbors say they'll help her when they can if she's released.
She's a good girl. She's a good mom.
She's a good girl. She's a good kid. You hear this? Listen again.
She's a good girl. She's a good mom.
The woman is
How would you guys feel if a grown person referred to you as, yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good kid. Jay is a good boy. He's a good kid. How does that even sound? Flip that and think about it. Jay is a good boy. Come on, y'all know what kind of implications those have. He's a good boy. He's a good kid. You want to do a call-in show? All right. If y'all want to call in, email me. I got time. I haven't eaten yet. I have not eaten yet, but I will stay and take calls for you guys. Absolutely. So the way we're going to do that is you're going to email me. We don't have a mass call-in number, but what we'll do is we'll allow people to call in one by one. So anybody that's listening, we got about 230 people watching. If y'all would, hit the thumbs up for me. At least do that. And email me right there in the description box, thesotoyoudig@gmail.com, and I will give you guys the number to call in. We can do that.
expected to see a judge here in Douglas County tomorrow. In Lawrence, Caroline Sweeney, KCTV5 News.
Because we're going to wrap up here in a little bit. So if you guys would, quickly take your pause for the cause. Email me while we play this next video. And if you want to call in, I'll take a couple of calls before we wrap this thing up, okay?
Players Sports Bar is back open for business after a strange series of events late Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. A worker tells us this woman, 26-year-old Tiara Dillon, came into the bar about 9:30 Tuesday night. Over the course of almost 4 hours, bartenders say she ordered several drinks and made erratic remarks. At 1:30 in the morning, they'd had enough and kicked her out. Dillon went out to the parking lot and apparently her car wouldn't start. Workers say she then tried to go back to the bar, and that's when players called police. Officers say Dillon had left the area but found her car nearby. 2 kids, ages 2 and 3, were inside. Dillon was arrested for DUI and aggravated child endangerment. The temperature outside at the time in Lawrence, 6 degrees with a wind chill of 12 below. Police say the kids were not injured, but Child Protective Services is also now investigating.
Being in a car is not predictable, and they can be exposed to those temperatures that cause medical issues.
Doctors at the University of Kansas Health System say extreme temperatures like we're seeing right now are extremely dangerous for small kids. Their tiny bodies can't adjust to the deep freeze easily, and it only takes a drop of a couple degrees in body temp for mild hypothermia to kick in.
Definitely within minutes you can have that drop in what we call core temperature, the temperature of the body. Once it gets below 95 degrees we start to become very concerned, and we want those patients to present to the hospital because part of the treatment, it's important to actually reworm them a specific way that can't be done at home.
So safe to say that since the 2 children in Lawrence could have been in the car up to 4 hours, it's incredible they're okay. Their mother, Tiara Dillon, is expected in court Thursday. Experts say it's also important to know that even if you leave the car running with small kids inside, that can be dangerous too. If they get too hot and they don't know how to take off their coats or blankets, they can get sick from being overheated as well. Kara Mashik, Fox 4 News.
More than sick, they could die. Okay? So what we're going to do, again, for the people that want to call in, I'll be more than happy to. It only takes you a moment. TheSotoYadig@gmail.com. TheSotoYadig@gmail.com. I'll be happy to take calls. So for people watching this on the replay, we'll cut it right there. And all I really got to say about this story is just the fact that I've said all I got to say. This mother made a horrible choice. I don't think it's something that's forgivable. I think her children were lucky to survive her mother's horrible choices. That's where I'm going to cut the show.